Hello world, double thumbs here. The Sigma 16mm f1.4 is, in my opinion, the best lens available for the Sony APS-C system. It's super sharp and the f1.4 makes night videos as good as it can be on the APS-C system. But the 16mm focal length becomes 24mm full frame equivalent, and in some situations you do want it to be a little bit wider. And the alternative is this, the Rokinon 12mm f2, and it's quite affordable too. I got it used for about $150. You can normally get this for about $340 compared to $399 or $400 new for the Sigma. And the Rokinon is also very sharp, and its aperture is f2, meaning you'll also get very good low light videos. So which is the better prime lens for the Sony E-mount? Let's go find out. And the first aspect that I'll cover is the image quality and the low light videos. And as I've said a million times, the Sigma gets really good and sharp image quality. Even a non-professional like me can really tell that this lens is sharp. And also at f1.4, the Sigma produces some amazing low light videos. And to me, the reason why you get these $1,000 4K cameras when your smartphone can also record 4K is because of their low light videos are so much better than smartphones. And the Sigma 16mm f1.4 combined with the Sony A6400 is a very budget and capable low light camera system, in my opinion. In comparison, the image coming from the Rokinon may not be as sharp and may not be as good in low light, but it's definitely still a very sharp and very good low light lens. And as you see in this image, definitely the sharpness is there. And also in low light situations, the Sigma's f1.4 is definitely going to be better. But it's not to say that the Rokinon's image is bad by any means. It's a world's difference compared to the f4 that you get out of the Sony A18105 or the f3.5 that you get out of the Sony kit lens. And the second aspect that I'll compare these two lenses would be the stabilization. And it is a tie in this case because both lenses don't have any lens stabilization. And you could say that the Rokinon might be better because it's ultra wide, so the hand jitters and the shakes may not be as evident because of its ultra wide field of view. And same could be said for the Sigma because it is heavier, so it might provide you with more sturdy grip or maybe sturdy camera to hold on to. But in either case, if you want to have a more stable image, you have to use the Sony A18105, which has one of the best stabilization among Sony lenses. And if you do want to use these guys, then make sure you put them on a tripod or use a gimbal. Gimbal makes everything stable. And the third aspect is the field of view. And the Rokinon 12mm translates to 18mm full frame, which makes it an ultra wide angle lens, whereas the Sigma 16mm becomes a 24mm in full frame world, which makes it a regular wide angle lens. And in the world of wide angle lenses, a difference of 1mm can be quite big, and as you can see, the difference of 6mm full frame equivalent is quite evident. The Rokinon captures much more of the background compared to the Sigma, which is a lot tighter and more of the frame is filled with my face. The Sigma's field of view is enough in most situations, and I still film almost all of my videos with the Sigma 16mm, but I do understand that there are going to be situations where the wider field of view of the Rokinon will come in handy, such as being in a limited space indoors, or whether you wanted to pick up a lot of your landscape, then those situations the Rokinon will come in handy. Moving on to the fourth aspect, and it is the focus aspect. And Sigma has autofocus Rokinon doesn't have autofocus. And autofocus is quite important when you're a solo film crew because you don't have to worry about whether you're in focus or not as you film. And the Sigma's autofocus system has been very reliable, and I haven't had any issues with it since I bought this lens about a year and a half ago. And the Rokinon's lack of focus hasn't been that big of an issue for me either. Because it's an ultra wide angle lens, I always keep it really close to myself and I'm able to just adjust and make sure that I'm in focus, especially with the Sony's focus peaking feature. But at the end of the day though, having autofocus is just much more convenient, where I'm not conscious of my focus, so to speak. So it's just much better to have autofocus. And the last aspect that I'll cover is the size and the weight. And the Rokinon definitely takes this one because it's much smaller and much lighter. The Sigma weighs about 1.5 times more and is about 1.5 times longer. Since the Sony A6400 or the entire Sony APS-C system is marketed as a compact mirrorless system, the lightness and the compactness of the Rokinon is a huge plus. Again, it's not to say the Sigma is a 1 kilogram barrel and you're gonna have a hard time carrying it. No, that's not the case. I use this all day, carry it around all day without any issues, but compared to this, it's gonna be much harder to do. So in conclusion, the Sigma has better image quality and gets better low light videos and has autofocus. Rokinon, on the other hand, has a very wide field of view and is much lighter and much smaller. Both lenses have their pros and cons, and it really depends on what you value more. For myself, the Sigma 16mm f1.4 is the lens I use most of the time just because of its super sharp image quality and the autofocus. It's not to say that I'll get rid of the Rokinon 12mm f2. I'll definitely keep this lens because of its wide angle and its small size. It barely takes up any space in the camera bag. But what do you guys think? Which of the two is the better lens, better prime lens for the Sony APS-C system? Let me know down below, and until next time,